Hey, how's it going today, everybody? Welcome to the channel. It's Robin here with AriesFireTarot. Thanks for joining me today. So, guys, I'm getting ready to do the Monday and the week ahead reading, and this is going to be for April 6th, and I will be using the Starman tarot card deck. So, I hope you guys are doing really well out there. You know, there's always something going on in the world that can be very disruptive. So, you know, I've made actually a couple videos on my other channel, Oracle Rising, like how to deal with stuff like that. I didn't want to bring it to this channel, but, you know, just some different ways of looking at things. So if you're feeling stressed out or whatever, I just wanted to invite you over to that channel. So anyway, week ahead reading. I'm gonna do, there's 3 cards here, but I've been guided to do like 2 cards for each position. And again, once again, I'm using the Starman tarot card deck. So we'll get right in. So what you need to think about for the week ahead, you guys, let me do one more shuffle over here. All right, so I'll pull 2 cards. Interesting. So we have the 5 of Swords and the 8 of Wands. So the 5 of Swords can always like represent some sort of a battlefield that you're moving through, you know, pushing past the point of fear and really standing up for yourself, but always be careful about the fallout, you know, and this can happen sometimes in moments where you're heated and you don't really give consideration to whose feelings you might be hurting while you stand up for other people. This is what I'm getting here from this card, 5 of Swords, is that really just, you know how lawyers plan their defense and then they go from their notes? That's what I'm seeing here for you to do. And really just be careful about the fallout. And then we have the 8 of Wands. So it does look like you're going to be very successful and sticking up for yourself. And then you'll be able to move on. But it's all like, I'm seeing like sort of a caution sign here. Just be very careful and make sure that your tone is right and make sure that your words are right. Make sure that your audience is right. 8 of Wands is going to put you into a better position after this, but 5 of Swords is a very, very tricky card. Very tricky. Anytime you see the 5s, it's like there's something a little bit dicey going on, and my dog is staring at me from over on the couch. So, hi. Maybe she thinks this reading is for her. So anyway, let's have a look at the second set of cards. It's going to look at what you need to do, because some of you could be in a really tricky situation with that 5 of Swords. It's not the best energy. Like when we see almost any Swords card, and then particularly 5s are really difficult. So what you need to do here, guys, and I'm going to do a deck cut and pull 2 cards from the cut. Let's take that one and that one. So you have the King of Wands, and then you also have the Hanged Man. So what you need to do is look at things from somebody else's perspective. So let's say if you're a parent and you want to go and sort of like give your child a correction, or you know, you're in any sort of position where you have subordinates, let's just say. It's always important to look at things from somebody else's point of view, and not necessarily to understand why they did something, but the language that they're going to understand the best, because not everybody speaks the same language, particularly for you parents that have children going through phases. I always read like psychology-based articles on how to deal with children at certain age levels, and you can also do this with anybody in your life, you know, because people use different languages. You know, if you listen to people, the way that their speech patterns are, people will say, oh, I see, or oh, I feel this way about that, or I think that way. So it can be a really important clue on how you want to approach somebody so that they hear you the best way. Do you know what I mean? And then we have the King of Wands. So everything that you're doing here so far is followed by an action. So you have the 5 of Swords, which is going to put you in a tricky position, but you have the 8 of Wands where things are going to like basically clear up, like a log jam being blasted when you use the right words. And then what you need to do prior to that is look at things from another perspective, so the other person's perspective, and plan your course accordingly. And then you have the King of Wands here, which is saying, well, you'll definitely be able to move on to the next project or the next phase, and everything is going to go really well because now you have the King here. And the King is like, he's a very goal oriented, and he's just such a go-getter. So it's like the words that you choose could really inspire somebody to actually go the way that you want them to go, which is probably what you want if you're a parent, for sure, and or if you're an employer, or you just have, you know, somebody really close to you that you want to be on board with sort of your way of thinking, or at least reduce conflict. So you have some really interesting cards here for the week ahead. So let's see the challenge, like as if you don't have enough challenges going on already. Let's look at the actual position of the challenge here. Okay, that's good. And once again, I'm being guided to do a deck cut, and I'm actually being guided to take the card from the bottom of the deck, and I don't usually do that. So I've grabbed 2 cards. So we've got the 9 of Cups. I don't do reversals, you guys. And the Ace of Pentacles. So your challenge is going to be really to keep yourself extremely positive with the 9 of Cups. You know, you have to go into a challenging situation with the notion that you're going to be successful and you're going to be heard very, very, very well. And what's interesting about this Ace of Pentacles here for you guys is it really, really reflects the sort of as above, so below principle. And if you're not familiar with it, it's just, you know, everything matches. There's always going to be, it's kind of like you're the sandwich, okay? And what you put out is what you're going to receive. So the roots that you grow is going to be how you blossom. So how you treat people below you is going to be how the people above you treat you. And what you plant is going to be what you reap. You know, what you reap is what you sow. So very, very interesting combinations of cards here. So keep yourself uplifted, but definitely be mindful, like how you want to be treated is how you should be treating other people. And to me, it's just common sense and common courtesy, but this is really important to remember. Like if you're going to be taking your bad day out on somebody else, you could probably expect the same in return, you know? And if you really want to be treated well and treated in a positive way, this is how you should treat other people. So this is a very interesting reading for you guys, that really to maintain sort of and embody the way that you want to be seen by other people, and how you want to be treated by other people. You know, and there's a real call here to stay positive through any sort of difficult times here, because you do have that 5 of Swords, and you are being asked to look at things in sort of a different way, and how you could approach any sort of challenging situations so that you're going to be heard in the best light. Like you don't want to be seen as a tyrant, right? Because you don't want to be the victim of a tyrant. So very interesting combination of cards here for your week ahead, but it looks like you could really, really, if you just put the right spin on things, you could be really seen as somebody warm and caring, you know, instead of being somebody that just is a buzzkill, you know, which is no fun. So anyway, guys, interesting read. I hope you think so too. Let me know in the comments. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.